Have you encountered with a kind of moment you feel everything you read, heard, or experienced is trying to tell you the same thing? I have, and it's getting stronger. Which side do you choose, flame or crystal? I remember the first time in the movie Blade Runner, city in the future is portrayed as a giant pyramid, a mega structure. It's got everything you need in your lifetime inside, so before you're born, you're already in your tomb. 40 years later, cityscape became more decentralized, paralleled, and non-dimensional. All the citizens and their stories are all immersed into the endless background. If film itself reflects the ideology of the society in a certain period, does it mean that during the last decades, there was a big shift in the perception of the universe in humans' mind?
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Main engine start, 0, and liftoff of the Atlas V with Curiosity, seeking clues to the planetary puzzle about life on Mars.
NASA launched the Mars Survey project in 1997. That is one of the most exciting moments for human being. As the rocket leaving for the outer space, one debate is also fading away. Which kind of robot we should send to the unknown planet? An incapacitated genius or an army of useful idiots?
Rolo, answer the door.
In 1990, Ambulance is born in Field Robotics Center in Carnegie Mellon University. It's 20 feet high, cost $4 million, but its aim is only to swipe out a piece of ground for the landing of human astronauts.
Almost as long as I can remember, I've been doing this stuff, trying to build things that are intelligent. I can't explain why that fascinated me. It's just been part of me for almost 40 years now. Back in the 80s, I was building robots inspired by insects, six-legged robots, and my plan had been, okay, I'll get insect robots working, then I'll work on a very primitive reptile, then a primitive mammal, and maybe a cat, and then I'll do a monkey, and then I'll do a human. But after I'd spent 10 years on the insects, I started to add that up.
And Brooks' theory has made big progress in recent years. An army of robots is here in Yukon.
The team can also navigate in environments with obstacles.
In the milestone book City in History, Louis Mumford began with the Society of Hunter in Paleolithic Age and Society of Farmer in Neolithic Age. The hunters are robust, explorative, but vulnerable to environmental impact. The farmers have more permanent shelters, but a little bit more homogeneous. He said this is the beginning of dictatorship and democracy, the beginning of power centralization and power decentralization. The conflict between the two never ends, lasting for centuries and still influence the current social structure. For all of these phenomena, one of the best conclusions comes to the field of literature. Before accepting a Nobel Prize in Literature in 1985, Italian author Vito Cavallino was preparing 8 lectures to be delivered in Harvard University. But before his death, only 5 of them have done. In the 3rd lecture, he connected literature to cosmology. There are 2 mainstream approaches to create work in literature, he said: the flame and the crystal. Flame, originating from internal aggregation, symbolizes the power of centralization and the constancy of forms within chaos. The centralized thinking, growing like organism, reflects the emerged self-organized system. similar with the process of crystallization.